These Roblox games were some of the most popular on the entire platform, but today they barely pull a fraction of the players they used to once have. So in today's video, I'm going to be exploring each and every one of these games to find out what went wrong, and to start things off, what better game can I talk about other than, of course, Grow a Garden. Grow a Garden was the biggest game as of a few months ago on Roblox. In fact, this was the biggest game in the world at one point, but today this game barely has 300,000 players playing, and honestly there is a lot of reasons for this. Now once again, as I mentioned before, I have literally played this game day and night, so there is no better person to tell you guys what actually went wrong with this game. At one point this was a very fun game, but today it is the most grindy game like ever, bro. The first and main reason why this game started dying is probably because of its repetitive nature. I mean, all you can do inside of this game is just plant seeds, grow seeds, sell seeds, use a few crazy gears to grow seeds faster, and honestly the only goal in this game for the longest time was to get the best seed. I mean, sure, now we have a garden guide, we have a bunch of achievements you can complete and whatnot, we have a freaking battle pass you can work on, but honestly all of this was added in the past few months to maybe try and save the game from dying, but clearly that hasn't really worked. The developers also made some crazy mistakes, such as adding OP pets like the raccoon, which can basically print infinite money. There have also been a bunch of dupe glitches in this game and so much more. People were abusing things like the moon cat and the neon method. Once again, I'm not trying to go too in-depth into this, but guys, all of this like completely cooked this game, bro. The game is still being updated to this day, don't get me wrong. It still has a lot of players. I mean, 300,000 players is actually not bad at all, but compared to what it was back in the day, it is honestly not the same. And the fact that the players keep on declining every single week shows that people are really losing interest in this game. But hey, who knows, this game might make a comeback, we never know. I mean, it was one of the most popular games ever, so clearly the idea works. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. Do you think Grow a Garden might make a comeback? While you're typing that, by the way, hit that like and subscribe button too, it helps out a bunch. With that being said, let's move on to the next game. Just like Grow a Garden, I don't think this game needs any introduction because this was one of the biggest games on Roblox when it first released. But today, this game sits at about 20 to 30,000 players. In Dead Rails, you're given this train. Using this train, you have to try and get to the end of the map. On the way, you can find a bunch of shops, selling a bunch of goodies. We also have zombies, vampires, werewolves. You ask, they have it. So what went wrong? I'm not gonna lie, guys, this was one of my favorite games when it first came out. I played this game a lot, and this was before Grow a Garden, so Grow a Garden did not exist. So I wasn't occupied completely just wasting my time in Grow a Garden, but what I'm trying to say is this game is actually near and dear to my heart because I honestly really like the concept of this game. But after completing the map like 5 or 6 times, it honestly just got boring. I mean, there isn't much you can do, just like in Grow a Garden. Your only goal is to just get to an endpoint, and once you just get to the end, which is like 100 or 1,000 meters away, 100,000 meters away, I think, you've basically just completed the game. Now sure, there is other things like classes that you can unlock. We also have a in-game currency called bounds that you can go ahead and earn, and the only way to earn these bounds is by completing these challenges right over here. But besides that, guys, there isn't much you can do in this game, and as you guys can see from this graph, players quickly lost interest in this game and the game just simply died out because it was just too repetitive. That and the lack of major updates that this game got. I mean, sure, Dead Rails could have gotten some bigger updates, maybe a new map or something, but at this point, guys, it is way too late and I don't see this game ever coming back. Maybe they could make a new Dead Rails game and that might do better, but honestly, guys, this game has just simply lost interest. There isn't much to add on to that. Now, unlike Dead Rails, the next game we're going to be talking about had 26 updates before it was abandoned. This is, of course, Bubblegum Simulator. I mean, most of you have probably heard of this game because at one point, this game peaked at over 300,000 players, but today this game dips almost under 10,000 players, which is absolutely insane because this game honestly has not been out for a very long time. If you guys did not know, by the way, this is a sequel to the original Bubblegum Simulator, which was a super popular game. Like for years and years, people continued to play Bubblegum Simulator, and I honestly thought that this game would be the same. But due to a lot of issues with this game, it started dying pretty quickly. First things first, there was this entire botting issue inside of this game where a bunch of people were just creating bot accounts. So most of the players inside of your game weren't even real, which is just absolutely insane. And because of this botting issue, a lot of players started getting a lot of really good items pretty easily, and that's probably what contributed to this game losing its interest. The gameplay of this game is also pretty be mediocre, bland, you might say. I mean, there isn't much to do in this game. It is pretty much the same as the original Bubblegum Simulator, with a few changes here and there, but the whole concept of the game is the same. Now, that might be a good thing or a bad thing, but clearly this concept does not work in 2025. I mean, Roblox games have evolved way too much, and this sort of gameplay just doesn't cut it anymore, apparently. I didn't really play Bubblegum Simulator much, not the original or the Infinity one, but if anyone has played Bubblegum Simulator and knows why this game really died, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to read your reasons. Not like Bubblegum Simulator, the next game we have on the list deserved to die. This is gonna be Meep City, and me just saying that name probably triggered a traumatic memory for some of y'all. If you guys aren't aware with Roblox news, this game was super controversial for one feature it had. This was called the party feature. This game was just filled with a lot of bad actors, and this party feature that this game had basically let you guys create private rooms with anyone you wanted. This game might seem innocent and sweet and child-friendly, but honestly guys, it was basically the opposite of that. Once again, I'm not gonna get into it because it's just a lot of really weird stuff that I don't really want to get into. But at some point in this game's life, Roblox actually forced the owner of this game to remove that controversial party feature. And as you guys can see, that basically cemented this game as officially dead. This game is currently sitting at 300 players from its peak in about 2021 of almost 100,000 or even sometimes over 100,000 players. As I mentioned before, this game 100% deserved to die, and as I mentioned before, the owner is also kind of weird for keeping such a feature in the game for years and years. Of course, Roblox is also to blame because they did absolutely nothing about this game until the whole free schlep movement. Now, the next game on the list is probably the oldest game we have, and this is going to be Tower of Hell. Most of you have probably heard of this game or at least seen someone on TikTok playing it, because it is a very popular game that people usually just play in the background. And as I mentioned before, this is probably the oldest game we have on this list because this game was released back in 2020. In fact, when this game was first released, I used to play it a lot. Like, I used to love this game a lot, guys. There's just something about jumping around, listening to music, and trying to complete all of the levels in this game. It's just really satisfying. The game is also very well designed, and from what I remember, the game was actually getting some pretty decent updates. But as you guys can see from this graph, this game simply just lost popularity. Once again, this game is 6 years old, almost 6 years old. So this is honestly just understandable. But the crazy thing is, this game is actually sort of making a comeback. As you guys can see, 2025 was actually the best year for this game, averaging about 20 to 30,000 players. And currently, this game is sitting at about 20,000 players. Once again, this is another game that I just have not played for a very long time. Clearly, there have been a lot of new changes here, but if anyone has actually stayed up with the Tower of Hell community and knows the ins and outs, what do you think? Is this game actually dying, or will this game actually make a comeback like it looks like it might? By the way, just to point this out, this game never dipped down before 5,000 players, so by all means, this game is honestly doing fine. Is there any game that you love that's currently dying? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like and subscribe button. As you guys know, these videos take a long time to make. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.